Good morning. I'm Reverend Judy Anderson, and what a pleasure it is to see more people in the seats today. Our first day where we don't have to wear a mask. We can if we want, and that's fine, but it is no longer required. So welcome. Welcome, welcome. We can even have visiting over coffee and cookies after the service. So whether you're in this room or whether you're watching online, know that you are appreciated and welcomed and invited into the spirit of our celebration of life and love. And let's begin by reading our opening affirmation together. Today, all things are made new. In this space of freshness and grace, I resolve to live each moment with an attitude of delight and wonder. The world around me is beautiful. All of creation is beautiful, and I am one with it. I feel truly and totally blessed, and so it is. And we do have a few announcements. Ernie Persky's Celebration of Life will be held at the Wetaskiwin Senior Center in Wetaskiwin, March 11. That's this coming Friday at 1 p.m. And the address is 5216 54th Street in Wetaskiwin. I'll repeat that once more if somebody at home needs to pick up a pen. 5216 54th Street, the Wetaskiwin Seniors Center. And of course, once more, the membership forms are included, are in your programs, and if you haven't signed up for this year yet, please do. It's a requirement. I forget if it's probably the provincial societies that we have to sign up every year. So ask me how many years I've signed up. Since 1992, quite a few years. It'll be 30 years in November for me. That's a while. I haven't missed many Sundays during that time. And of course, we have our, yes, I can read it, our March Science of Mind magazine, $5. They're just outside the door, just outside the middle door and around the corner. If you haven't got one of those yet, pick one up and hand a $5 bill to Reverend Tress or myself. And with that, how about our growing circles? We've got one young lady here today, Deanna. Do you feel like coming up front? You don't have to. And Darcy, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, but you are Darcy. That's
Dallas.
Pardon?
Dallas.
Val.
Dallas.
Del?
Ready to connect.
Oh, okay, thank you. And we've got a wonderful word for you today, and especially since you were in the meditation with me, and the word is joyfulness. So, without inner joy, all our feelings go up and down, depending on what's happening on the outside. If we are joyful, things still happen, some good and some bad. But if we're joyful, down deep, we stay calm. We continue to feel loved and safe. And our affirmation is, I am joyful. Will you repeat it with me? Loudly, I am joyful. Another one of the children's affirmations says something like, I'm so happy, I jump up and down with joy. Like I can still jump up and down with joy a little bit. So thank you, Deanna. And you can go with Mama Lou now if you like.
Ready to connect.
And I'll just do an opening spiritual mind treatment. Please join me in joy, in peace, in love, knowing good and only good, in our community and in communities around our world. Let us know that peace reigns. Let us know that there is love in the heart of every world leader. Let us know that that peace, that love, and that joy expresses outwards in ways of peace, kindness, and support of each other. Let us know that each one of us are truly blessed, not because of what comes on the outside, but what
Ready,
arises from the inside. It's what arises from the inside in our thoughts, in our dominant states of feeling and mind that draws to us our everlasting good, our joy, our knowledge of loving and being loved. I give thanks, knowing that we truly are blessed, and we let that blessing extend from us around our globe to bless all. And so it is. And with that, I have the pleasure once more of introducing our speaker today is Reverend Tress Phillips. And she's got a wonderful topic today. The March theme is living everyday wonder. And the big word in that is every day. Not once a week or once a month, but every day.
Ready to connect.
And her title is Joy, Balance, and Freedom. So help me welcome Reverend Tress.
Good morning. And I have a word welcome to the Red Deer Center for Spiritual Living. And I would like our camera fellow, if he could please turn off the other speaker, please, because it keeps telling us we're ready to connect. But we all know we are connected with the divine mind. So we're already connected, so we don't really need to be told to connect. Sometimes getting the words to come is easy. Sometimes getting the words to come isn't quite so easy. And so this week, for some reason, everything that I wrote down that made total sense was not what needed to be said. So this morning, of course, everything got rewritten. There you go. But that's called our creativity. That's because we are each one with the divine mind. I get up and I noticed it was just after 6 this morning. And it was, the light is starting to come, but next week is daylight savings. And I always get really excited about daylight savings because since I'm someone who really doesn't like to sleep anyway, I really enjoy the extra sun, the extra time. And it gets kind of lonely when you don't sleep and you know you're up and you're ready to go and, oh, I can't phone so-and-so. I'd love to say good morning and whatever, no, you can't, they're still sleeping. So it's an interesting thing. Well, what they wanted me to talk about, you see, this is our CSL theme for March, is living everyday wonder, and it's play. And what they wanted the title to be is Playing Twister with God. Well, when I did my meditation, because I always meditate, and I do a prayer treatment, I want the right title. And the only thing that came to me is joy, balance, and freedom. Because connecting with the divine mind, God, is a freedom I find through meditation, through peace, through quiet, through something I do every morning I get up. I can be shopping somewhere in a shopping mall and there's too many people. I sit down, I have my little by myself meditation. We can become quiet, still, and at one with the divine or our own interpretation of the divine, and feel the freedom and feel the joy and feel the balance of ourselves coming back. So doing my meditation, it's like having a GPS, and it sets me on the right place. And for me, the GPS today was to talk about communication, to talk about the importance of each and every one of us, the beauty of who we are right here, right now, no matter what package we come in. For some reason, my head's going to shoes. One day you're going to wear these shoes because they are the right thing to do, the right package to put on my feet. Well, a month from now, oh no, those are out of style, I want these. Those are the right package to put. We are just a vehicle of the divine, and we are beautiful and wonderful, whomever we are. Because we're just human form, but we are spirit. Spirit, everyone here is the divine inside. So I read this. I was combing through the Science Mind magazine, and I get a lot of ideas, like Reverend Steph St. Amand, and she is, if you look, she is one of the ministers that I do Zoom calls with. She's part of our Western region. So I went to March the 1st, and the very first, the little words, you know, they give you a few thoughts and sayings, and the first one, and I will go where it's more friendly for me to see, is, I'll have to read it from this. It says, all we need is a little more love, a little bit of trust, and some pixie dust. And there is a lot going on around us. And just the love, the togetherness, the oneness is what we really need to see. Now, when I read that, I did my happy dance. I did not a little happy dance, I did a major Yahoo happy dance. The person who was the first person they quoted in this month's Science Mind was Amy Bishop. Amy Bishop comes from Calgary. Now, to me, Amy Bishop is pretty special because part of what I did here was be part of the youth group. And I would take the youth, we went to California, we went down by Kananaskis, and that's where Amy Bishop came, and she sang, oh my goodness. Anyway, she sang, and around the campfire, she was one of the youth group people, and she came to entertain them, but she was active with the Calgary Youth Group. Amy Bishop, I have to get, I don't have the date here. But anyway, I do have 2018. She was on the launch. And that's a Canadian music show where they decide what kind of music, are you good at what you do. Amy Bishop sang Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. If you have not heard her sing it, please look it up and listen. You will have goosebumps for the entire week. Her voice is incredible. But while she was there, she met a fellow who was a judge. And you see, Amy is a bigger bodied person. And so he was asking her, what about yourself? What do you think has caused you to not feel as confident as you'd like to? And she mentioned her packaging as part of it. Now, this person that spoke to her, they have made an unbelievable connection through music. The guy she connected with and is still connecting with is Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue. Yeah, now not everybody knows who he is, but through their connection, they still connect. And Amy has a new CD out, brand new out, called Perfect and Broken. And he helped her write it. It's a joint effort of them both. So what I'm talking about is that God, divine mind, universal mind, whatever your connection is in, as and through all of us. And once in a while, we make an incredible connection to somebody that is so deep, and there's nothing that can stop that connection. And Dr. Holmes says in the Holmes Papers, God sings all songs, dances all dances, paints all the pictures, creates all the art, writes every book, and plays every game. And he also says, it should be considered good and right to live and to enjoy living. Now, I'm not sure if anyone else here, but I will give a big confession. A lot of my life was taught you do not enjoy living. It is bad to have fun. Well, it's bad to talk in class. It's bad to look out the window. It's bad to this, it's bad to that. There's no, it's good to be happy in this occasion. We are built to experience joy. If we have a higher power that created us to run around with the, you know what I mean. What a waste of time. Our lives are our lives, and we have the right to be who we are. And who we are isn't us. Who we are is a blessing to each we meet. Now, it's our choice if we want to bless people in a mean, cranky way or in a happy, loving way. And everyone that we see is a blessing to us, a gift from the divine to us to learn what we can about that incredible person. And sometimes the person you think you know the least teaches you the most. And we all know those people. Now, I love the growing spirit circle, joyfulness. It just worked right in, and it said, without inner joy, all our feelings go up and down depending on what's happening on the outside. Well, there is a lot of stuff happening all over. If we're joyful, things are still going to happen. Some good and some bad. If we're joyful, deep down we stay calm. And we continue to feel loved and safe. And what the children and everyone with us to say is, I am joyful. Well, I'm going to ask you to say it all over again. I am joyful. I am joyful. Okay. And we can unleash a joyful life into being with the power of prayer. Like I might say, why, who me? Who me? I kind of like being kind of cranky and old and well, if that makes me joyful, I guess that's my joy, but it certainly isn't adding to anyone or anything. But you see, divine mind, God is everywhere. It says, Dr. Holmes says in Science Mind, page 111, there is no place where we begin and God leaves off. We can find God only within ourselves. And there is a man, his picture is on the wall there. He passed quite a while ago. His name was Eldon Woody. And Eldon said the smartest things in the simplest words. He would go around and he'd just have this smile on his face. And especially when he caught somebody being negative. And I remember he'd catch me being negative. And there'd be Eldon with his bright face saying, there's not a spot where God is not. And I'd think, oh, but really, there's not a spot where God, divine mind, universal is not, because where is that divine essence? Inside. Bursting out. Every breath we take is a breath of life. Every breath we take can be a breath of joy to be alive. Because each of us, whoever we are, whatever we're doing, can make a difference. Somehow, somewhere, with a phone call, with a smile, with a check to somebody, paying something for whatever you feel you can help someone with, or even a good morning. When we do prayer or spiritual mind treatment or meditation, we connect with something that is in us that connects with something so incredibly powerful and large that the peace is there. And it can lead us to a place of seeing how to live and get through each day. And some days are one foot in front of the other. I think we may each have had a few of those, one foot in front of the other. But we keep going. Because where is that energy coming from? It is coming from living our life. Where is our life coming from? It is from the divine mind. Know your oneness with divine God essence. Know you will be guided in everything you need. And believe you will receive, and you will. The result might not be exactly what you thought it should be, but the result will come nonetheless. Why? Because you asked. When you asked, what'd you do? You opened a door. When you open a door, something's going to come in. But I have to be willing to notice what's come in. I have to be willing to accept what's come in, or I have to be willing to say, no, I choose not to have this experience. I'm the only one that's a boss in my life. I'm the only one that's a boss in my life. That's a private joke, but the cameraman and I are kind of husband and wife, so poor man. But seriously, think of our families. Think of our neighbors. Think of anyone. And see the beauty that they are. Think of your life and growing up. And see how at times you fell down. See how at the times you were scared. But you're here now and you made it. What was it that carried you through, gave you the energy, gave you the knowledge? Because all of us have those experiences where we think, I don't know how I knew that, but I'm sure glad I knew that because I sure got through whatever that scrape was. Well, I like to call that God, divine mind, higher power, universal mind, but you may have a different name. But we are all one in the divine. When we look at our lives, we know the important thing is to never give up, to never stop believing. Because within us is the all that is the life behind each and everything. We are in partnership with God, universal mind. It's important we acknowledge this. Now, I don't know if you want to run around saying, oh, I'm a gift from God to the world, I'm a gift from God to the world. People might look at us a little odd, unless you want people to look at you a little odd, and then go ahead, go out there and, but each of us. So I know I say you need to ask for what you want, but I want to tell you about the little hot dog boy. Now, I'll let you think about what a little hot dog boy might be. I'm going to let your imagination go, just for fun, because it's not ever going to be what you think it is. When I was, my significant other and I met, we both worked at a store called Woolco, and that is now Walmart. So this is forever ago. And they had a place you could order food, and you'd order food from you'd grab stuff or say, I want a hot dog. Well, we're sitting there, and I'm making eyes at this guy I think I want to ask me out, and he's trying to hide and get away, and I won't tell you who the guy is that tried to hide, because he never did get away. But anyway, I see this little guy, and he has his dollar bill. That's when we had dollar bills. That was a long time ago. He has this dollar bill, and he needs his hot dog. Well, you have to ask the guy behind the counter for your hot dog. And he was sort of behind a glass, and he's doing his work, and this little guy with this little dollar jumping up as high as he can get. Jumping up as high as he can get. And nobody paid attention. And I'm thinking, that poor little guy. And still, people walk by him, and nobody. So I went over there and I said, this little boy needs a hot dog. And he got his hot dog. I will remember that little boy and his dollar and that hot dog probably till they bury me. And I bet most people that walked by and just saw, oh, a little kid, didn't even notice. But you see, the point of this story is, when we really need something, chances are someone's going to come along and help us. Or if we are the person taller than the little boy, and he's waving his little dollar, the person that needs help, if we can help, we can do it. Because we are all one mind. Who knows, maybe this little guy is now a lawyer, or who knows what he is. I have no idea. He'll always be the little guy with the dollar. So are we waiting? I have to talk to myself and say, okay, what are you waiting around for before you do this? Are you waiting for the right time? Am I waiting for the right time to be joyful? Am I waiting for the right time to make a decision on this or that or whatever? Well, when is the right time? Well, the truth is the only time is now. Who knows? It's not yesterday, it's not tomorrow, because how do I know that a big rock's not going to fall out of the sky and squash me like a bug, and I won't be here tomorrow? So if I really want something, how about right now? And look at all the work that Amy Bishop went through. She was in Toronto. She led off a big performance in Toronto. She travels all over, and she's on Facebook, and I watch her and her friends, and she is a strong, powerful person who believed she could sing, who took a chance and sang, and is a part of the Calgary church right now. But she is known universally for who she is. I see her as a brave youth who's grown up into a strong adult. And if you look, I've opened the page out there. I don't know if anybody will look or anybody knows much about when I was part of the youth group. I was young once here, and that would have been, I don't know, maybe 89, 90, I'm not sure. And we went to California. There's pictures there of us dressed up and doing all these crazy antics because we had fun. And those young people met people from California. And in Alberta, we even had at our church when it was downtown, we had the Alberta lockup where all the youth from all of Alberta churches came, and they were locked in the whole weekend in the church. It was called the lockdown. That's just part of what they did, because these teenagers are adults now, and they are the ones who are running our world, and they are the important ones. Everyone is, but what about the children here? They are our future. So how are we treating our future? How are we treating those around us? But we have to treat ourselves well first, because we are each gifts from the divine to the world. And there's one more story I just want to share, and it really touched my heart. And it was a composer in Poland, and he was also the Polish prime minister at the time. And he was a composer, a pianist, and he was given a concert. And this mother brought her young son to watch the concert so she could see what she wanted him to become, a great pianist. Well, this little monkey, he snuck away from his mom and did what kids did. He ran on the stage and he started doing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star in his little way he did it. And she's just horrified. Well, they shone the spotlight on this little fella. And that Polish composer came on stage. He walked up behind him and he said, "Keep playing." So the little guy, and he reached around with one arm and began to fill in the bass notes. And his other hand, he played some running obligatos. And together they made beautiful music. We together make beautiful music because we together are one in God. Each of us are one with God, but together we are one with God. So I would like to just say, I know for you and I know for me that my birthright and your birthright is joy, it is peace, and it is freedom. And I claim that now. And so it is. And now we have our prosperity, which is, I think it's on a blue sheet this time. It has green, it has the birds on the top. So please read with me. The nature of our universe is abundance, and so I know that my world and each individual life partakes of that bounty to the extent that we believe and accept it. I make the choice to believe deeply and receive freely. I give freely too, and I prosper in all things. And so it is. So if you wish, you may make a donation and place it in the basket, or just being here yourself is a great donation to us. And our closing, I go about my daily affairs knowing that God is good and so am I. I partake wisely and joyously in all good. I know that the truth of my being is spirit, and spirit speaks from that sweet, sacred place within. I live from that place and from the divine of me. Life is truly wonderful, and so it is. And if you would like just a really short closing treatment for the week. Know with me that there is the one divine mind is in, as, and through each of us, and that the love and the joy and the peace and the calm is not only within me, it is in with all, and not only with us here, but it generates the love, the peace, the calm, the joy, the acceptance of the all that is. All is right. All is perfect. For all is the living divine in each of us and in the world as one. And together we say, and so it is. And there are coffee and cookies and fellowship in the outer area if you so wish, and if not, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being there.